I guess my story starts about 3 years ago, and I was a pretty miserable person, and you know, I was trying to do a lot of the things that conventionally that you're meant to do: earn lots of money, have lots of things, and go to lots of places that I was meant to be quote-unquote seen at. And it wasn't really doing me a great deal of good. I didn't feel very satisfied by it. But equally, I wasn't really prepared to take on board a lot of the, I guess, spiritual or new age or religious stuff that's out there. I'm not interested in having my chakras realigned, and I quite like my hair being cut short, and I like wearing nice clothes. I'm kind of obsessed with Nike Air Jordan, and so I guess it was a bit of a problem for me to kind of land on a lot of the ideas that are being presented to make people happier and more tuned in and stuff. And it was very much almost a moment of desperation, where I was sitting with a group of friends, and there was a lot of positive ideas that we couldn't really work out how they worked for us, because, you know, we didn't want to chant and we didn't want to do a lot of these things. And some of the ideas that were kind of on the kitchen table were things like visualization and, you know, imagining a better life, and kind of acting as if was a big one that was being thrown around the kitchen table. You know, like a lot of people say that the way to make the world a better place or to change yourself is to simply act, and I guess, you know, act is the word, kind of pretend your way into it and kind of imagine what that would feel like. There was a genius moment, and credit where credit's due. It was Rob who took the leap for the group. And we kind of thought to ourselves, how does this actually make any sense to us? Because a lot of these stories are kind of apocryphal tales about people who wear cloths and sit around campfires and travel the world, and all these kind of stuff doesn't relate to me and what I wanted and how I want my life to look like, or wanted my life to look like, and the kind of things that I wanted to be doing and have around me in my life. So we took what was quite a small step at that moment. It was a really profound moment in my life, and it was a phone call to Domino's Pizza, of all places. And we decided to see if we could implement some of these visualization and positive thinking ideas to get something that we actually really wanted. And we wanted a pizza at that moment. So Rob called up Domino's Pizza, and he psyched himself up into feeling all the things that he would feel if Domino's Pizza would send a free pizza to us. So he was happy, he was grateful, he was excited, and he got on the phone to Domino's Pizza, and the call lasted about 15 or 20 minutes, and you can imagine the guy on the other end was like, "Are you out of your mind? We don't send free pizzas to people, and what are you talking about?" But he stuck to the tenets, these kind of, you know, that if you believe something and you can manifest it in the world, and if you're positive and if you have faith in other people's humanity, all these kind of things that I thought sounded like, I don't want to say horse, you know what I mean? I thought, this is mumbo jumbo. He kept going, and he didn't move off the spot, and he insisted that the guy was an awesome guy and that he was going to do this for us, and that was going to make him feel amazing. And something really trippy happened. It was almost like reality got crunched. You know, like when you crunch a beer can in a vice kind of thing for recycling? Everything went and the guy went, "Yeah, all right, I'll send you a pizza." And he said, "Awesome, thank you very much." And he hung up real quick. It was like, "Get the hell off that phone, man." And we sat there and we looked at each other. Did that happen? It was almost like we were instantly prepared to write that off as just being a crazy moment of madness. And I don't think any of us, apart from Rob, expected the pizza to arrive. We were all just sitting there going, "Nah, man, that's, you know, whatever." The door knocked, and the guy was there, and he handed us, I remember it was a large, supreme vegetarian pizza. Is that better? I'm being told to move the mic away. Is that okay? Okay. And the guy handed it over, and big smile on his face, and he says, "Yeah, compliments of Domino's Pizza. I hope you really enjoy it." And we were like, "Whoa!" And that was the kind of beginning of a massive cosmic shift for all of us who lived in that house, and Rob, who was visiting. It was such a kind of profound thing that we ignored it, as you do. It took about 3 or 4 months. You would have thought that after that we'd all be kind of psyched into it, but it was a really, I know it sounds like a very small thing, a pizza. I'll tell you why it's not as we progress on, but we all were just so shocked that that had actually happened, and that you could actually apply these tenets of visualization and positive thinking to get something that you actually wanted, not some mumbo jumbo nonsense of, you know, whatever. We wanted this, and there it was. And it took us about 2-3 months of thinking and digesting before anyone else in the group would actually try this out, because we thought, it was a fluke, it was a one-off, that this wasn't an actual, if you like, scientific test, that this wasn't a methodology, this visualization, this positive manifestation stuff was still mumbo. Even though we'd seen it and eaten the pizza, we still wrote it off. It was right there, and we even took a picture of the damn pizza, which we still have, and I've got it stuck up on a wall, right? And so it took us a couple of months until finally, sheepishly, one at a time, we started to pick up the phone as well. And we started with pizza companies and Nando's and all the different Chinese takeaways. And basically the lick was that we call these places up and say, we think you're awesome. We really appreciate what you're about to do. This makes us feel fantastic. And we paint them into a situation where they were awesome, awesome people. And food started arriving, lots of food started arriving, and then the doubt was disappeared, it like evaporated in our heads. We thought, okay, the game's on, this stuff works. So we hit the phones, and we hit the phone hard, and we got a map of the local area, and we went to every single takeaway shop and everywhere that delivered anything, and bang, 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 one. Then we thought, hold a minute, maybe this isn't just good for food. Maybe we can get tickets to things that we want to go to as well. So we did up a list of everything that we wanted to see. And we decided to go to stuff that we normally wouldn't go to as well, because we figured, damn, if we can get free tickets to anything, we might as well go see everything. Like, I don't really like football, but we went to football matches, and I checked out the opera, and we checked out the ballet, which was awesome actually. Opera not so much, but ballet was rough. Anyway, so we called up and we thought, this flies, man. And the same deal, we were phoning people up, and what I realized what we were doing was we were tapping into the very best part of people via the telephone, and we were imagining the very nicest thoughts that we could think in our head about them and about ourselves, and then we were holding that, and we were picking up the phone, and we were projecting that down the phone, and they were bouncing it back down the phone at us, and boom, something magical was happening. Exactly like they say is meant to happen with this kind of technique, but it didn't seem real before, because it was all the stuff that people were manifesting or getting in their lives, with this warm, happy feeling, or more crystals to hang on the wall, or all this kind of stuff that don't interest me. It still doesn't really interest me now, but tickets to go and see Jay-Z, now that rocks, and I want them. So we were on the phone getting. And suddenly all of our friends and family started to notice that something was up, and this then progressed on to objects, because that was kind of like the third stage of it. We thought the technique obviously works, and positive visualization, and we started keeping records of everything we did. We started filming ourselves doing it so we could, because it was still very unbelievable to us that this would actually work. It just sounds like nonsense, it sounds like mumbo jumbo. So we started to watch the videos back, and we started to realize that there were key moments where suddenly someone's mind was, it's like a virus, I guess. They were being infected by our positivity to such an extent that they had to respond in a certain way, and they were just going with it. And really weird things started happening, like companies started calling us back, and we're like, oh gosh, what now? They're gonna want their pizzas back, right? No, they started calling us back, and they said, that was really fun, can we do that again? What? So yeah, this is the first time we've ever connected with someone like this, and it was like, damn, and suddenly Domino's Pizza and all the different agencies, they stopped becoming companies, and they just became people up for a laugh that we were speaking to on a phone and trying to do something really cool and really nice with. And a lot of our friends and family, they started to look and they started, damn man, what's going on? You've got stereos, and this is kind of the central point of this phase of our story. This wasn't rubbish that you don't want. We've got large screen TVs, 52 inches wide, plasma, dark side, bad boy stuff, PlayStation, stereos, all the stuff that, kind of idiots want, right? So it was all arriving, and everyone was like, gosh, that's cool. How are you doing that? What's up with that? So we started to do it for our friends and family. My grandmother and my late grandfather needed a new fridge, so we got them a new fridge, and we started to kind of do stuff. People said, oh, I always wanted to go to this concert and see that and do that. And it was almost a little bit like it was our party trick, and we started to kind of do this for other people. And very quickly, a couple of things happened. First of all, when you can get anything you want, you really start to understand how valueless a lot of the stuff that you might think you want is. Because our house was, when I say filling up, it was every morning, 4 or 5 deliveries would come in the door, and we'd be opening the door and we'd be working our way through everything in life that you could possibly ever think about wanting: massage tables, fish tanks, every kind of cleaning equipment you can, everything that you would normally buy or dream about buying was being delivered to the door. And we suddenly started realizing that most of this stuff was rubbish and that we didn't actually want it in our lives, and it was a weird realization.